Congratulations, you are participating in a print exchange. You've printed your prints, you've done all the work, you've collated your prints, you've signed them, and you're ready to go. You're ready to submit your prints, right? You still have to do interleaving. This video is going to walk you through what interleaving is and why you need to do it and how to do it professionally as a nice final, finishing of your prints for an exchange edition. What is interleaving or slip sheets? It's archival paper put between prints, either as a single sheet, cut the same size as the piece of paper, or as a folio or a folded piece of the interleaving put around each print. What's the function of the interleaving? It's to protect your print from being rubbed up against a different print. Maybe there's dry ink or ink that's still sticky. It's also to protect other prints in the exchange from your prints. If your print is still sticky, maybe there's some sort of loose material, maybe somebody was really bad and used glitter or something on their print, hopefully not. And also for long-term storage. So choosing an archival paper and putting it around each of your prints is a really good way to store it. Glassine is the standard paper. That's what everyone tends to use for making interleaving. What paper should I use, and do I have options? Glassine is the best choice. This is pH neutral, archival, can store your prints forever wrapped in glassine. For my students, cheaper alternatives, I let you guys use tracing paper, wax paper from the market, or even parchment paper would also be fine. And the reason I let you guys use this for exchanges in my class is that this is less expensive and something that you probably already have for this class than glassine. You would never use newsprint for interleaving, or newspaper or magazine sheets, or even old cardboard envelopes, things like that. These are not archival. Over time, they could damage your prints because of the acidity of these papers. Not good for long-term storage. In the short term, if you just need interleaving so that you could mail your prints to me, say, for the class, these are also not a good choice compared to glassine or tracing paper or wax paper because they're more absorbent papers. And if your prints are still sticky a little bit, newsprint especially could stick to your ink and then tear when it gets pulled off again, and it could ruin your print. The craft for the measuring and cutting of your interleaving should be just as good as your craft of cutting your paper for your prints. Cut with an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat or a rotary trimmer. Don't use scissors. It's almost impossible to get a nice even cut with scissors. And make sure that there aren't any measuring marks, definitely not pen or pencil marks on the glassine when you're finished, or on the interleaving when you finish. The interleaving goes around each and every print. They should have their own folder. You're doing an edition of 10, you have to prep 10 little folders, one for each print. For my exchanges, for my students, you are required to make folders for each print, not just slip sheeting, not just one piece the same size as your print. Why? Because this provides better protection to the print on both sides. The interleaving should fit perfectly to the size of your print. It shouldn't be larger like this. For an exchange, the paper size is usually set to a specific size, and that's to fit into a box or an envelope and to be consistent across all prints. Don't make it too big. What size should the interleaving be? If you have a print like this print is 3 by 8 inches. Then I've made my interleaving 6 by 8. Normally you want, for a horizontal print like this, you kind of want your interleaving to open like this. If it was a vertical print like this, you would want to orient it so it opens like this as a book. Just makes sense. For some really small prints, say you're doing print on 3 by 4 paper, then 4 by 6 just makes sense that you do it that way. If it's a horizontal print, you could do paper that's 3 by 8, but it really sort of makes more sense that you do the 4 by 6. Either one would be fine. So why is interleaving required for print exchanges? We talked about the protective function, keeps ink off your prints and keeps any ink from going on their prints. But also with a print exchange, we're dealing with handling the prints quite a bit. So whoever's organizing the exchange is going to have all the prints from everybody, and they're going to be sorting them into piles so that everyone gets prints back. So there's going to be more handling than just a print that you've completed yourself. Again, they might still be kind of sticky, not wet, hopefully, but the ink might still be sticky. It's a professional presentation, and it's a standard thing that we do in printmaking. Just like the conventions for signing, these are conventions for using the interleaving. Don't forget your interleaving. Be professional, have good craft, be proud of your prints that you're submitting to an exchange. Be respectful of other people's prints. Be respectful of the organizer and the fact that you're following directions. And participate in what is a standard practice for printmaking. So that wasn't hard at all, was it? Very easy. Just the hardest thing is remembering to do your interleaving. Congrats. And if you're in an exchange, that'll be so fun. You're going to see all the prints that you're going to get in exchange for the work you've done. Happy printing, everybody.